Jackin'.
James, let's get into one of the things we keep talking about. Divorce is prevalent, unfortunately, right? Money. We're talking about money. Guess what? Leading factor of money, divorce, money.
Yeah, so my friends make it look so good. At this age, I have a lot of friends who've already been through the divorce and they rave about it. They talk about how, I say I'm happily married. They say they're happily divorced. And so I was just kind of thinking, what if I dump the redhead and maybe I should try this out because it looks fun. You've done it and you ended up well, right? You seem like a happy guy who has it all together. So thinking about dumping her, but then some questions come to mind because if we dump her, how are we both going to buy a house? Because we qualified for this one, but based on the fact that both of our incomes are together. So would I be able to buy a house like this if we got a divorce? Would she be able to, like, do my kids necessarily have to have a downgrade if I dump my wife?
Chances are, and we'll go through your situation without getting into numbers, but just knowing, let's put it this way. If you bought the house using combined incomes, unless something has drastically changed where you're dumping her because you just got this big promotion and now you're a super rock star hosting and you're Mr. iHeartRadio,
Yeah, that's not.
then guess what? You got more to be concerned about than even downgrading. It's probably not even qualifying. And that's a question before you make those decisions. I try to tell people, reach out to me first so I can guide you and let you know which way do we have to go.
Well, there's a lot of people who have my complication because one of my problems that I discovered going through this process is because I'm self-employed and I write off everything.
Yes.
I show up on paper as a fairly moderate to low income fella.
Yes.
And so that would just kill me if I didn't have the wife's record with me, wouldn't it? I would have to rent.
Yes. You're done. Yes.
That's it. Renting is my option.
Yeah,
Now
that is your option.
All right. So
that is your option. And it's that simple. Now for her, because she shows income, W-2, all that stuff, then chances are what you're probably going to do in that situation, and what we see a lot of is you know what? You don't want to upset the apple cart any more than you have to. So James is going to bow out and let the wife keep the house. Okay, so in that case, then the wife's going to need to refinance to get you off of the house. You can't just go, hey, I'm out. All right, hey, see you later. You're in charge.
And she just takes over the payments?
Right. No. So what's going to happen is she's going to refinance, and then you're going to, if you're still married, let's pretend like you're still married, then you're going to sign a quit claim deed giving up your rights to the property. Okay. Let's say y'all got divorced, and then you're like, hey, you fell in love. I'm never going to get married again. You fall in love and you decide to go buy another house. Well, it might be 3 years later, and this is what we see. She still has to refinance to get you off of that house because it's affecting your ratios when you go to move on to your next chapter in life.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because my debt-to-income ratio would be blown out of the water, right?
Correct. Now you got two houses. You could still count it as a primary. I'm going to give you primary interest rates. We know divorce so it's not like I'm going to make you buy it as an investment. However, we got to get that off. And you go, well, look, she pays the payments. Doesn't matter. You got to get off of that mortgage.
So how does the wife keep it? Because I have a friend who's going through this right now. She's getting a divorce, and she hasn't worked since their daughter was born, and the daughter's 6. So she had a work record for 15 years or whatever, but for the last 6, she's got nothing, and they're splitting up. How does she keep a house?
She needs to, this is going to sound brutal. She needs to have a great attorney that gets the husband to pay the note. It's that simple. Or, like I have to tell people, James, in that situation, which stinks for the 6-year-old, you got to put a for sale sign. And people call me all the time and go, can you refer somebody to me? I got to sell my house. We talk through it. First thing I try to do is let's look at all options, because selling's then last, right? Let's look at every single option first, then go from there.
Because here's the ugly thing that you can help with. The scenario she's looking at is she they're going to have to sell the house. And she's
Mhm.
not going to be able to qualify for anything unless you can just immediately land a great job. But even if you do, don't you have to have like 6 months of work history or a year of work history for that to even count? Or
No, what would happen in a situation like that is obviously she's got a 6-year-old. Her job time's going to show her gap in employment is going to show that she had a child, right? I mean, we're going to need some proof. And then after she's employed, then we're going to look at 30, 60 days of job history, getting paychecks. We're going to do a verification of employment, them telling us, hey, how likelihood is to continue. We're going to let her move on with her life. But we're not going to give her something saying, all right, we believe you're going to go out and get a job. You're a good person. We trust you. Not going to happen.
well, and then on the flip side of that, see, 60 days doesn't sound too bad. I mean, that's almost doable. But
Well, and that's where we're corresponding to the sale of that house, right, James? That's where you go make an offer. It's contingent on me buying another house or some different things like that. So there's different options. And that's why when it comes to divorce, don't trust your neighbor's friend's cousin's aunt's uncle who took pre-law 101 10 years ago.
all right, if I dump the redhead, how does that impact our credit?
Well, as long as y'all both are civil, which everybody's civil initially, till somebody decides to start liking someone else. Then you get the old, I'll show you, and I'm dealing with it right now on a client. The ex-husband, she moved on, and guess what? He said, you know what? I'm not going to pay the house anymore. She moved out, moved in with another guy, so now they're going to buy a house, and he quit making the payment. That's why you got to get them off as quickly as possible. It never ends up good, ever.
All right, so no divorce this week.
No, stay out of it. Stay out of it.